Oh, we have our next guest right on time. Hello, guys. How are you?
Good. Can you hear us clearly?
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us today. We're so excited to be a part of this opportunity, this amazing event that you guys have put on. So I'm Ali, I'm the marketing coordinator here at Cannapiece Corp. This is Eric, our VP of operations, and we're excited to tell everyone who's registered a little bit more about what we do and how we're growing in the industry and some exciting positions that we do have available at our company right now. So we have a short presentation that we're going to run through with everyone, and then we have a 5-minute Q&A at the end for anyone who has questions for us. So if everyone's ready, we're going to get started on our presentation here. Awesome.
Thank you very much. I'm going to let Alessandra step a safe distance away so I can take the mask off and take everybody through the presentation. If anything comes up, I'm assuming we have a chat here. If it's a quick question, feel free to pop it on the screen. If not, at the last 5 minutes, we'll be more than glad to take questions a little bit more in depth. Hopefully the share screen will. Are you seeing my share screen properly, Romain?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all good.
Perfect. Thank you very much. So Cannapiece started its birth about 2 years ago in 2018, where our founders decided to bring our company to the market, and our target was to be a solution for many different players in the market. In a nutshell, we're a contract manufacturer, and to do that, we wanted to make sure we had the opportunity to offer services on both dry packaging, liquid filling, as well as extraction. One of the things that we had noticed in the market was there was a lot of players that specialized in very specific parts of that contract manufacturing, whether it was just extraction, just packaging. And there was a lot of phenomenal cultivators and players who had focused on the flower. For us to be able to fill in the gaps, some of these customers may have needed A to Z service from flower to a finished product, but some of them may have needed services in the middle, partial packaging, part of the extraction. Some may need more in-depth things such as product development, and those are services that we've tried to compile together in one place for our customers to be able to really see that breeze and ease of conversion from their area of expertise to a marketable product. At our facility, we have fairly large-scale extraction. So those technologies include CO2, hydrocarbon, ethanol, and we will eventually bring some solventless solutions that will be in our phase 2 of expansion. The key being we wanted to focus on large-scale, low-cost, to be able to give opportunity for our current players to move some of those services out or not have to go through the expenses of establishing their own processes. There are some great players in this space, and we believe that there is still a lot of capacity and a lot of opportunity left, and we continue to grow. We are focused on solution-based product development. We wanted to make sure we heard the need of that client, we heard the need of the market, and be able to have those available for whether it was seasoned LPs in the market or new players that are looking to find a new home or a new niche within the growing cannabis market. Contract manufacturing and packaging really comes down to being able to have that honesty and have that integrity go into the market. Our players need to know that they can trust us with their product, both on the quality end, but obviously on the IP end. We wanted them to be able to ensure the confidentiality and our processes to protect what they've worked hard to bring to market or what they're working hard to add to the market, knowing that we are there to serve a lot of different clients, but we respect their needs and respect their privacy as we go through this process. Since we are involved in product development as well, research and development is something we focus on as well. We have a facility independent of our current production facility that focuses on product development in edibles, topicals, and vape products. And we have a human sensory testing license over there, so we can actually give that true experience to our clients to get the right data, get the right product developed before they have to go and put the big money behind it and get it to market. Distribution is something we're working on, both domestically and internationally. Target being that if that particular customer wanted us to actually carry the tail end of that product into the provincial distribution or the medical market, we'd be able to offer those services to them as well. Because we're a contract manufacturer and we don't have our own cultivation, there will be customers that come to us that obviously have a vision of what that product or what that flower should be. So we source that both locally and internationally for genetics. And we are working on a project with some of our trusted cultivators to be able to have genetics available going to those LPs for strain specific products that some of our partners are looking to bring to market. The facility we have right now is a 150,000 square foot building. We've built out the first 50,000 square feet of it, and we are looking to expand into the remaining space over the next 18 months. This will allow us to have space both for our domestic production, but more importantly, as we are getting into the European market, have processes and production lines compliant to that process, so that if our customers are coming to us that want to be a participant both in the Canadian market and the international market, they can be assured that we meet all of those requirements and that their products can actually leave the country and be compliant in those markets. Obviously, the compliance process for that is still ongoing, but we have a very dedicated team with probably Canada's two largest consultants working on it to make sure we get there quickly. One of the things we also noticed was there's a lot of competition for good talent in the market. The days of just being able to pay somebody a high salary and retaining them are long gone. So we wanted to focus on being able to have a good environment for our team, for the people that have been here from the early days and the new members that are joining us. We're growing rather quickly, but we're still committed to those values, having a comprehensive health plan, a sponsored gym membership. You know, we always have healthy food and snacks available in our staff rooms to make sure people are well fed and well taken care of. We take care of families. We know everybody has a growing family, and for those of us who are having children, we wanted to support the parental program. And learning development. We have a great partnership with Academy of Applied Pharmaceutical Sciences on the education side, and we're committed to allowing our staff to grow into better employees. And we believe that by continuing to bring new education and new programs to them, we want to elevate them in that industry. It's a new industry. Some people are coming from obviously legacy backgrounds or previous experience in other countries in terms of cannabis. But within the Canadian market, this is still a learning curve for all of us. And we as a company are committed to that, not just for our executives, but all the way down through to all our staff. We have paid expenses. So depending on some of those roles, we make sure that our staff have an ability to be able to continue to move business forward, and we recompensate them for the expenses that they incur doing so. There are a lot of great opportunities at Cannapiece coming up. The current heavy expansion is obviously on our extraction side. So you could refer to both our website as well as our social media to get information on the few roles that we're hiring for. We're hiring multiple people in these roles. Some of those included in the current launch is our extraction technicians, processing technicians that'll be on the milling and the pre-processing, quality assurance specialists who will ensure that the product we make meets all the standards, not just for Health Canada, but also of our clients, and lab technicians who will be handling the post-processing of our cannabis. I again want to take a moment to thank CanMar. You guys have really come leaps and bounds in trying to really keep this industry moving forward during these rather difficult times. I think what you've done in trying to create a spotlight for people to really have a chance to find out a little bit more beyond just seeing a listing is a great opportunity. And again, we are very, very happy with being a part of this, and thank you again for the time. And at this time, if anyone has any questions, we'll be more than glad to answer them.
Absolutely, and no worries. I mean, it's a pleasure. What you can do is you can scroll down questions for you at the bottom of the screen, or I can just go ahead and ask you some of them if you'd like.
I may have to stop the share, I believe, to see the chat. Hang on. There we go.
So the Q&A at the bottom right.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, amazing.
This is great.
Yeah, right.
We also require employees for customer service roles. We will be expanding that department very shortly. At this time, we have the required number of customer service staff for those roles. But please keep an eye on our facility, on our postings on our website. And as soon as those positions become available, they'll most definitely be listed. If you have a great background and you think there may be other roles that you're a fit for, by all means, send your resume in. A lot of times we have people come in different roles and transition into others. We're a great believer of talent. And when we see it, we definitely love to bring them on board as soon as we can. How much equipment do you own? Do you have someone qualifying it to GMP? We have a full post-processing lab as well as our extraction equipment. We have, without getting into too much IP details, we have processes that are GMP based, and we will have a separate set of operations that are targeted for domestic market that do not need to be GMP compliant. We've had a GMP pre-audit. We've had our consultants on board throughout the whole process to ensure that all the equipment and all the processes we're going through meet the GMP standards. We've been conducting ourselves like a GMP process. And for people who are equipment specific, yes, we do go through a rigorous IQ, OQ, PQ process to make sure everything stays standardized. Any plans to have any facilities in the Vancouver area? I personally would love to be on the West Coast, but at this time we're focused in Ontario, and there are some very, very great players who are actually going through this process with CanMar that are on the West Coast, and I'm sure they'd be more than suitable as a starting place if you are looking to get into the cannabis industry. Again, who knows where we're going to be in a few years? We may be on the West Coast as well. What do you think is the outlook for white labeling in the cannabis industry? We believe it's actually the future. When we look at pharma, food, there has to be a specialization, and there are going to be companies that are focused on branding, distribution, and really positioning that product in the market. There's going to be great players that know how to produce high quality input materials. But the process of being able to get that product packaged and ready for sale in a most cost-effective way really comes with high capex. And realistically, the more you spend, the more optimized you get, the lower you can get that cost of processing. And for us to be able to focus and get that cost as low as possible so that the customer looking at it looks at the internal process versus an outsourced process for that white labeled product. And hopefully they can see the value in trusting somebody else's expertise in the processing end of it versus the product development that they would do in-house and process it and package and go through the whole thing. I know when we started the cannabis industry, the entire conversation was vertical integration. And I think over the last probably year, people are starting to realize that specialization is a little bit more valued in a long-term play in the market. I have worked with a company called Pure Extractions here in Vancouver. We started from the ground up. Unfortunately, the work has ended as the owner is redesigned, and is still in redesigning his product. I don't know if that was a question. What is the profit margin for extracts better than bud? I don't think that you can really universally take that across the board, but as we've seen the standards for flower increase, and the array of products that are really coming out in extracted products, whether it's direct extractions such as vape products or concentrates, or infused products such as edibles and topicals, we're starting to see that purpose grown or purpose built flower for those type of products are going to be low cost, typically an input focused product. But there are situations where a lot of players in the market will have a cultivar that will go through it, and maybe they have some smaller buds that don't meet their requirements. Maybe it's their trim. Maybe it's product that just didn't hit the potency they were looking at to maintain that high quality of flower on the shelf. And that's where extraction and transforming that product could revive that margin. But I don't really think about it as a linear which one has the higher margin. Do you have a co-op opportunity for QC/QA roles? We have a co-op intern program that's in association with Academy of Applied Pharmaceutical Sciences. So people who are going through their education program and meet some of our requirements and obviously the available resources at the time, we do bring them on rather short term to see how the fit is, and if they fit, we've actually brought on a couple of our QA roles through that channel. Are there internship roles? We do take internships. Again, it really comes down to the resume. I would have to see where the application is. By all means, I suggest if you have that, put a good cover letter on your resume, send it in, and our HR team will most definitely review it. And if there is a fit, they will most definitely give you some feedback.
I just wanted to quickly step in and say, I think we only have about 5 minutes left, Romain, so we might not get through all the questions, but thank you so much for sending them in, and I think Eric will try and finish up on the last few questions here, if you're good with that.
The other question here was, are you looking for qualified extraction techs, or are you looking for people to learn? We do hire at the lower levels. I would say at a very minimum, we want somebody who has a machine operator background, if it's on the primary extraction, if it's on the lab end, somebody who's got a process background, who understands how to follow SOPs, follow procedures. Skill sets and equipment can be taught with the right attitude, but unfortunately, if you don't have that base of being able to follow instructions, it makes it a little bit more difficult. Are we expanding to Latin America? Not at this time.
I wonder if those questions were actually for the previous guys. Maybe if you actually scroll down in the Q&A, you might see another few for you.
I see 1256 here. Domestic engineering, planning on hiring technical salespeople. We would look at technical sales, but it really comes down to, again, where that background would come from. Digital marketing positions, we are not hiring at this time. I see another inquiry here from someone who's been to AAPS. If you've been through it, by all means, feel free to send in your resume. We would definitely consider them. Are we looking at in-house testing for cannabis? We will be bringing some minor analytical testing, but nothing as a full-scale lab. And again, I see another IQ, GMP specialist. Again, if it's a QA, QC role, please send your resumes in. On the general chat, I've seen in-house testing, or we use a lab that's GMP certified. We use an external lab that's GMP certified at this time. And
okay, I think.
And I think somebody here was not catching my name. My name is Eric Akbar. I'm the Vice President of Operation here, if anyone in here was looking for information. Beyond that, Romain, thank you very much. We really appreciate your support.
Guys, it's really a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining in on this day. Again, we'll get your details to send to all those people so that they can follow up with you for other questions and for jobs as well, of course. So thank you so much.
To our website, we always keep up to date with the career postings that we have on there, and our social media is up to date as well. So if anyone has questions about the presentation we just went through, most likely those answers will be on our website or our social media accounts. So, and you can feel free to DM us or message us through there as well for any questions.
Thank you.
Okay,
that's amazing. Thank you so much, Alessandra, Eric. We'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye. Okay, excellent presentation for those guys in Pickering, Ontario. You can see that we're sending the website in the chat, so don't hesitate to just have a scroll, see the positions that they're hiring, and of course, they're not hiring right now for what you're looking for. They might be in the future, so please, by all means. Next up, we will be welcoming Rose Life Science. Those guys are based out in Quebec. Another nice presentation. I'm going to get back to sharing my screen so that you guys can see the Okay, so, oh, lost it. Bear with me. Here we are. So once again, we've just seen Cannapiece. Up next is Rose Life Science. Christina Lake will be coming up. And Katie, thanks for joining, please.
Thank you, Romain. I thought you needed some company here.
Absolutely. Well, I always appreciate that.